Hello Sunshine Fam, welcome back to my channel. I know I haven't done a blog video for over a month, or about a month actually. I think the last one I did was, well, it was within the first 2 weeks of my, I want to say it was December 15th, if I remember right, was my last video. And at that time I was still in a cast because I had recently had surgery from the 9th, and I was talking about how I hadn't fallen, but I had almost fallen, and Silver Star and Durfay Wolf were with me that day, and a lot has obviously happened since then, so I wanted to get you guys caught up and let you know what's been going on. Of course, in between I read a book. Hopefully you guys found that really funny. I know John had mentioned about he was never going to get a cuckoo clock. Well, guess what, John? I think I'm going to get you one for your birthday. Just kidding. Maybe. Yeah, killing a cuckoo clock bird. That was pretty funny. It's my favorite story in this book, but I might do another more videos from reading these little clips in this book. It's a book by Robert Fulghum. I don't know if he's still alive or not, but it was a very popular book back in the day, and they made a poster from the first story that he told that was called All I Really Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. And it's really pretty funny. So let's just get into what I've been up to and how things have been going with me. I am no longer in the cast. I am actually not even in the boot today. The incision is healing quite nicely. It's about 4 inches on the back of my foot. And the incision, if I can, I mean, I've got the sock on, but it goes from about here all the way up to about here. So it's about like that long. When I'm around my house, I do walk without any shoe or boot or anything like that. But of course, when I'm at work and walking around on this hard floor, then I do wear the boot on my left foot. The boot I got went further up my foot than the old boot did. It's a little bit higher than the other boot, and so I kind of wanted to catch you guys up on what has happened since that video when I was laying in bed and couldn't put any weight on it. Believe it or not, the very next day after I made that video, I actually fell in my bathroom. 6:30 in the morning. My first thought was my neighbors because I fell really hard and really loud. I went in to use the restroom that morning and I was still on the crutches. Somehow I kept my foot off the floor. I don't know how I did that. But as I turned around, I either got dizzy or lost my balance or both. It kind of happened really quickly. And I started falling backwards and I couldn't get the crutches in the right position to keep myself up. And so I ended up kind of falling back towards the toilet and towards the tub, which I don't have a lot of room between the toilet and the tub. So half of me was on the closed toilet, and the other half, I didn't have the light on in the bathroom. And so I tried to grab the top of the bathtub, and I missed, and my hand went into the floor of the bathtub. And my crutches kind of went this way. One went this way, one went towards the tub. And I'm sitting there, leaned over like this, going, oh my gosh, my neighbors, what are they going to think? If they come to the door, I can't let them in because I lock my door. And I wouldn't be able to get them into my apartment. And then I thought, how am I going to get out of this predicament? Because I had to keep my foot off the floor. So I had this hand loose, so I moved the one crutch up to the other one to the sink. Because I did try to grab myself on the sink, but it didn't quite work out. And that's how I fell. And so then I moved my right hand to the tub, to the side of the tub, or the top of the tub, and pushed myself up and was able to put my left hand on the tub to kind of push myself straight onto the toilet. And then I'm thinking, how am I going to get off this toilet without having to fall again? So I sat there for a little while, And I very carefully maneuvered myself to a standing position on one foot and used the restroom, and then went back to bed. And then I was afraid to go back into the bathroom again because I was afraid I was going to fall again. But thankfully, that was the only time I fell. And so anyway, that happened the day after I made that video. And then I spent a lot of time playing Happy Color and sleeping and resting up and trying to catch up on different things, trying to think, okay, how am I going to pay all these medical bills that have been accumulating over the past year to all these different companies. I had the doctor's clinic, I had urgent care, I had the test for my hand, I had lab results, or lab tests that I had done, both at the clinic and at urgent care. So that was another separate bill. And then I had gone to the orthopedic doctor and had, before I had the surgery, I had done physical therapy for 6 times. And that bill was racking up. So I had like, I don't know, let's see, like 7 different doctor bills that I had to pay for, medical bills. And they were all adding up, and I'm like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Now, I know in that video I also said that I had applied for short-term disability, and even if I would have gotten approved, I would have only gotten $50 a week. Well, unfortunately, my short-term disability did not get approved, so I wasn't making any money for a month. And so thankfully, I knew that the surgery was coming up, so I was trying to ration my money for the month prior. And not spending money on things I didn't need, like snacks and stuff like that. And I knew I wouldn't have to pay for gas because I wouldn't be using my car for a while. So that was one good thing I didn't have to pay for. But of course, I still had to pay for car insurance, and then renter's insurance. And then I've got Wi-Fi here in my apartment, so I had to pay for that. And so all these bills, I mean, some of them, like the insurance and the Wi-Fi, get taken out automatically from my bank account. But some of these other bills, they don't, and they bill me, and so those were mostly the medical bills. And then I had car repairs done, and so that was kind of sitting for a while. And I used some of the money from my credit card to pay off a big chunk of one of the medical bills. Didn't pay it off, but I paid a big chunk of it. So that brought that chunk of money up on the credit card. So I took money from one account and put it towards another. So I've got all these papers up on my wall in my kitchen of who I owe what to. So I've got like 7 different bills on my wall. There were 9. And thankfully, there's a charity very close to where I live that I reached out to for help. And I think I may have talked about that in my last video where I said I hope that they can help me with some of my medical bills. Well, thankfully they were able to pay off 3 of the medical bills, which I think were the all the lab bills that I had going. And so 3 of those got knocked down, but I kind of put them all together because all the amounts on them were pretty much the same exact amount within a couple pennies of each other. So I wasn't sure if it was all one bill or if it went to 3 separate companies, because it did get charged from 3 different companies. But I thought, well, maybe they all are the same thing. They just go by different names. I didn't know. But apparently they were 3 different companies. So this charity was very kind to pay off 3 of my bills. So that took a big weight off my shoulders. So that was a good chunk of money. But they are very limited on their budget, so I was grateful for the help that they were able to give me. So I still have 7 other bills I've got to pay. One is to Midas and one is to my credit card, and then the rest are to medical bills. One of them happens to be a dental bill that I accumulated back last fall. And so it's still kind of an uphill battle for how I'm going to be able to pay these bills off. But I will make it work. I've done it before. I'll do it again. It kind of set me back. And then when I went back to work, because I have insurance through work, I was not aware that my first paycheck, they were going to take out a full month of my insurance. So when I thought I was going to make a few $100s, I didn't even make $3 in my first paycheck. So that kind of hurt a big time too. So now I'm, this past week, this current week that I'm on, I finally went back to full-time hours. First time since the first week of December. Because when I came back to work at the beginning of January, they had me working very, very, very part-time hours so that I could kind of get back into the groove without pushing it too much. So I am sitting on a stool at work, which is helping my foot a lot, and doctor's orders. And so at least I'm not constantly standing on this hard floor at work. And I'm trying to wean myself off the stool and get back into a normalcy for myself at work. And so yeah, that's kind of what's been going on with the foot. The hand thing, I have decided not to do the surgery. I know a couple videos ago, back in November, I think it was before I did the surgery, I was talking about how they did the test on my hand, and that they would do the surgery for my carpal tunnel around the same time as my foot. But when I think about it, I haven't really had a lot of problems with my hand. It just flares up once in a great while. So I've decided to forego doing the surgery with my hand, or the procedure, whatever it is, for the time being, unless it gets a lot worse. So I'm not going to worry about that. This year I'm going to try not to see the doctor so much. I'm decided I have to be on my deathbed in order for me to see the doctor. However, after I got back to work, of course, the whole time I was at home, I didn't get sick because I wasn't really around a lot of people. Yeah, Sea Dog came over a couple times. Silver Star came over a couple times. One time with Drafay Wolf, my parents came over. John had come over, Nancy had come over, but we kind of kept our distance or whatever. And by the way, John did see the Vicodin video. He said I should not put it up because it's so unlike me. I'm still debating whether I'm going to do it. There's a whole thing with the Adobe Premiere Pro. I did contact them, and I'm going to try again to try to figure out if I can edit these videos. Then I can get more videos out to you in a shorter period of time. And I don't have to make new videos in order for you to see me or whatever. So, and they're going to be more entertaining videos. Because I do have some that are edited. A few of them from San Diego that I haven't been able to edit together. When myself, Silver Star, and Drafay Wolf went out there, we went to a few places, so I did a few Adventures with Chloe videos out there that have to be edited together, so I'm still trying to figure out the editing software. But in any case, John said not to do the Vicodin video. I might still do that. We'll have to see if I can do that or not. I might do it a little bit differently. The quality won't be that great. But I'm thinking if I get to the point towards the end of the video where I'm out in my kitchen, it's in a totally different apartment than this one, where Clary was filming me, and I have a magnet on my fridge that has my real name on it. And if I can figure out exactly where that is, then I can put like a piece of paper up over that magnet so that you guys don't see it. So you can still see most of the video, but I'll just hide that video or that magnet somehow. But I'll have to film it from my camera off of my computer. So the video won't be as great a quality, and the sound probably won't be as great either. I'm still debating whether I want to do that or not. But in the meantime, after I get back to work, my first week of work, the second week, I was supposed to work the weekend. And I ended up getting violently sick with this norovirus that's been going around. So I ended up not working that weekend. Ended up 4 hours in urgent care again. So I was off of work for a few days, and that really hurt too. But I was able to use some of that sick leave that they approved during Biden's term in office, where if you work so many hours, you earn so many sick hours for the week or something. And so I had like 13 of them saved up. And so I was able to use 12 of those hours. So I still got the full paycheck, which is going to be good. But it really sucked because I was so sick. My temperature had gone up to like 102, but I don't know how well my thermometer is. And I spent a lot of time in my bathroom and sleeping and taking some medication and very slowly drinking some water and stuff like that to get myself rehydrated, because I couldn't even keep water down. So it has kind of spread like wildfire through my family. Sea-Dog had it at first. I don't know if I got it from him or from a customer or whatever, but he had it, and then I got it, and I never went to see my parents, but then my father got it, and then my mom got it, and my mom ended up in the hospital once again with this illness and something to do with her heart. And then she comes home, and one of my sisters went over to take care of my parents while my mom was still trying to recoup, and then she ended up getting it. So everybody's still trying to slowly get over everything. I mean, Sea-Dog and myself, we're pretty much back to normal, but like my parents and my sister are still trying to get over this norovirus that's been going around. Surprisingly, Silver Star, who lives with Sea-Dog, never got it. Her boyfriend, or her fiance, I should say, Jeffrey Wolf, never got it, and she spends a lot of time with him. As far as I know, Clary never got it, but she doesn't really spend a lot of time with any of us, and so that's a good thing that those two didn't get it, or those three didn't get it. The wedding, I have been told, has been moved up because they finally found a venue, but the date that they wanted for the wedding is not available. So we're thinking of, once we get it secured, then we're probably going to send out the save the dates to those of you that have already gotten them with the wrong dates on them, and putting the correct date, the newer date, on there. And so for those of you that got the save the dates for Silver Star and Jeffrey Wolf's wedding, expect the ones that I sent out, expect new ones in the mail in the next couple of weeks, as soon as we can get that date secured. And then it's not going to be a big difference. It's just going to be a week sooner than we thought it was going to be. So as long as they can get the form in and the deposit down, then we'll reprint the save the dates and send those back out. At least I will. I don't know about Silver Star and Jeffrey Wolf if they're going to do it, but I know I'm going to redo the save the dates. So you'll be getting a new one from me, those of you that got them from myself. So be watching the mail for those. Otherwise, everything with the wedding is going pretty smoothly. She's had to change a few of her maids a few times, but I think we've got pretty much everybody locked in now, which is good. Of course, my granddaughter Adriana will be the flower girl. My grandson Simon will be the ring bearer, and all the adult party is all going to be the same now, because I think Silver Star finally has all of her maids locked in. So there were a few that were never getting back to her, so she had to replace them, and some of them decided they didn't want to be a part of the wedding, so they dropped out, so she had to find some new people. So hopefully we've got everybody locked in now for the party, that we don't have to look for somebody else now for somebody else. But I believe we never had any problem with the groomsmen. Those guys have all been the same from the beginning, so that's a good thing. Of course, Sea-Dog is one of the groomsmen. So that's coming together pretty well. Other than that, I can't really think of anything else I was going to talk to you guys about. So I've been doing a little bit more cross-stitching now on my days off, and trying to get off the happy color as much. trying to get my life back on track and everything. I've got to go through my old stuff from last year in my file box and get rid of, like, you know, like my utility bills that I don't need anymore. And, you know, you guys know probably that I've been divorced twice, and I have several copies of both divorce papers. So I should really cut those down to just one divorce paper from each one, because I'm sure eventually I might need them for something. Obviously I'm not going to be taking vacation this year because all my money is going towards paying these bills. But I'll get there. I'll get there. Maybe I'll get to Ireland next year. We'll see. Other than that, I can't really think of anything. It's been really nice the last few days. It was like 40 in the mid 40s today. Yesterday, I think it got up to like 51 or 52, but then this next week is going to go down to the 20s again for highs, which really sucks. But can't really complain too much. We haven't had too bad of a winter this year. Didn't have nearly as much snow as we had 2 years ago. Didn't get nearly as cold as they were predicting it was going to get. Probably because all that went to Florida and Kansas City. And please pray for the people of California. I don't know if those fires are still burning. I'm trying not to watch the news so much, because ever since a certain somebody got into office, I look at what he's doing and it just terrifies me. You know, you would think that other things would take precedence other than renaming a body of water or a mountain. Namely, like, how about getting the homeless off the street? That, I think, is a big issue in this country, and I think that really needs to be addressed. Maybe the government shouldn't step in. I know that there are nonprofit organizations out there that take care of the homeless and everything, and hopefully some of us, I know I did in the past, I haven't done it so much lately because I've been dealing with stuff myself, but I know I've brought clothing and stuff down to the homeless in downtown Minneapolis a few years ago to a group called Sharing and Caring Hands. It's run by a wonderful woman by the name of Mary Jo Copeland, but she's getting up there in age, so I'm not sure who she's going to have replace her when she's no longer around, but I know she has a team of people that help her out. And they only have so much room, and it seems like the percentage of people that are homeless that don't do it by choice are getting higher and higher every year because people can't afford anything. I mean, look at how high the grocery bill has gone up. Look at, I mean, gas is fairly decent compared to many years ago, but, everything is just going up so much, and who knows what this president's going to do with the economy and inflation and stuff like that. But, you can't bring it down to like the 1950s or prices or whatever. So, unfortunately, there's really nothing we can do about it. We can sit there and complain about what these politicians are really doing. And if you think about it, the president really isn't the one that's in control. It's more the Senate and the Congress, because they're the ones that pass the laws. And so you got to look to the little guys, I guess you could say. Although I think with these executive orders, I think the president can go over the head of the senators and the Congress and the House of Representatives and all those people. I don't know. I mean, I did all those presidential highlights, but it was basically just key events in every president's term of office. So I did learn a lot, though. And ever since I stopped doing them, I kind of like let all that stuff go out of my brain. I don't like talking about politics so much, but thanks, Lin-Manuel Miranda, for giving me the inspiration to do those presidential highlights videos. Thanks to you and Hamilton. I often thought about, how this country started and what each president brought to this country every year and stuff. And Sea Dog and I have been getting into really long debates about it, that this country has always been divided and stuff, and he's probably right. Like I said, I don't really pay much attention to it. But if you got any thoughts, leave them in the comments below. That'd be great. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go so I can upload this video so you can watch it. And I'll see, I do have Monday off, so maybe what I'll do on Monday, I don't really have anything going that day that I know of. That could change. Except to pay a few bills. But maybe on Monday, what I'll try to do is I'll try to figure out this Adobe Premiere Pro editing software with what little information the guy was able to give me, and see if I can figure out how I can get these clips that I have on my computer to be accepted by Adobe Premiere Pro, and then I can put them together, and then I can bang out some videos for you. You know, the one from northern Minnesota, San Diego. I know I did one from the Minnehaha Falls, but there were more clips to that I want to put all of them together. So I might take that, if I can figure that out and put them all together, then I might take down that particular Minnehaha Falls video and then make it part of the longer one. So I'll be like watching it again and then adding some more clips to it. That was an interesting day. We took the totally wrong way to get to the falls from where we parked. Our feet got all muddy. That was not fun. But at least everybody's getting back on healthy paths and stuff like that. And the reason I brought that up with the Minnehaha Falls video is because that was before I had the surgery, and I remember me walking around that day was really very hard because that's when I was still in a lot of pain with my ankle, which it does still hurt once in a while, but it's not where the bump was. It's more on, like, if I can show you, it's right here. It's like on my ankle bone on the outside, and then also on my heel, because my foot is like really super dry. So I've been using this Healthy Feet stuff on my foot to kind of moisten up my foot and stuff, and it is working really well. So hopefully one of these days I can get back into a shoe. The doctor did say that I can transition from the boot into a shoe, which I have done a couple times, put a shoe on that foot, but my foot's like, what is this foreign thing on me? I'm not ready for it yet. So I'm just taking it slow and trying to get out of this boot. I've been wearing the boot for 4 months, about 4 or 5 months now, and I think it's time for me to get back into a shoe. So hopefully the next time you see me, I'll be in an actual shoe rather than the boot. But at least I'm not walking with crutches anymore, which is good. So I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you for joining me today. Leave your comments below. Let me know where you guys are watching me from. I know I asked that in another video and nobody responded. Obviously John, who's the only one that really comments on my videos, I know where you're from, so you don't have to answer. And I don't know if Danny Sierra Lynn is still out there and watching my videos, but Danny Sierra Lynn, if you're still watching, I would love to hear from you. I have tried connecting with you again, but I don't know if you don't have Facebook anymore or what, but I don't know whatever happened to you. So if you're still watching my videos, I still miss you. I don't know what happened, but I guess life just happened or whatever, and we just lost touch several years ago. Last time I talked to her, I was just about ready to leave Amarillo, and that was in 2021. So now we're in 2025. That's pretty scary. That time is going by so fast. So we will talk to you guys on the next one. You guys have a sunny day. See you later. Bye.